If I'm to say that the price of XRP is about to pop like this from the current range where we are, why the hell should that happen? That is a big question which you should ask yourself. When you look at these, you kind of get the idea, a new financial system for what? Then you go and you kind of watch, yeah, they're not even taking cash at a bank. So there is some massive changes coming in. And then you go look at the real life adopters of this new world system, this new infrastructure, and you kind of get the taste of where we are going. And that is where Ripple as a company has positioned themselves. And when we talk about Ripple as a company, a lot of people kind of put the things out like, nah, it's not about XRP, it's just about Ripple. But is it so? When you go into the Bank of International Settlements and the entire CBDC spectrum trying to learn for the cross-border payments and interoperability, you understand it's not just about Ripple the company. It's also about the ability of XRP Ledger. And that is where you get to listen to things like this where it's clear. They're talking about tokenization. It's not on the Ripple net. Tokenization is going to be happening on the XRP Ledger where the value will be stored in what? That is a huge thing to watch because all of this utility and the long-term viability of a project is now in. You are watching that one by one things are evolving. As the crypto market starts to pop like this, yeah, some of these assets are kind of taking off, 50% up for the day. Yeah, we were following that. We were saying it's going to drop and then pop. It did drop and then pop. We followed it up even yesterday saying keep the measured move in mind. Now, boom, the price went up. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We are watching multiple assets taking over 50% for the week, 100% for the month, and you got all these calls before they started popping. Now you're watching Link is running up, and that's actually a good thing to keep in mind. That is a large cap asset moving like this in front of you, 100% up for the month. That's not a small thing. We had our targets in. If you go look at how the price actually moved, you get to see that. Yeah, we did correct back down and then we started moving up. So you move yourself through the market to see, okay, which of these assets are actually running. Another one, ILV, Illuvium, is actually up 60% for the week. We had our calls on spot. Target was $80. Right now, we already touched that and we are slowing down. That is something good, in my opinion, to understand. And if you want to get all these calls before they pop, just like this, saying, okay, this is what's going to happen and that's the target, you can follow the SI family using this link in the description below. If you are watching this on YouTube, yeah, it's in the description below. If you are watching this on Twitter, it should be in the bio. Now, let's actually dig in to the price of XRP. We'd like to see, okay, things are getting really serious in terms of the fundamental side. That's really great. We're watching the market showing you different things, all of them coming on to the utility side of XRP, which is great, which is, sincerely, it's a huge thing. But what we do want to see is Bitcoin breaking through this particular level. Remember, we actually shared that saying, okay, watch this, guys. I think it's a micro chart. But I told you guys, like, watch, we're going to come back up testing this range of resistance. And in a few hours, we're already there. We are testing that range of resistance. So if you are looking for constant education and updates and guidance in the market, SA family is where you get the most. If you actually go in the market and you look at people doing 10, 20, 30, 40x leverage, we're not doing that, but we're doing a 3x controlled risk, managed rewards, and we're going through a lot of this right now. We're actually going through that. Whenever I open a call, whenever I close a call, you guys get to know that. So if you're in the market, don't waste this opportunity. Now, if you watch this Bitcoin, we're still inside this. We haven't broken to the downside. We haven't broken to the upside. But on a short term, what's happening? And that's kind of visible on the micro outlook of XRP. There's a daily chart for XRP and it's showing you, okay, we did our 3 micro legs up. We're kind of slowing down. We do have some level of sellers here. We want to actually focus more on the macro direction, because if you try to get into the macro will erase your gains, your returns, because the higher time frame structure kind of clearly shows you this was the bottom, the local bottom, which came in at this trend line, and you're going much higher. This is where you are right now. The moment you actually went above the moving average on the weekly chart, you already got the understanding. Now look at how much the RSI have to go to the upside to reach the overbought territory. The same with the MACD. If you focus on MACD, you'll understand. For XRP on a weekly, the MACD is showing you it's already up in the positive territory. It's already in green. So that trend shows you which direction we are moving. Now, yes, for sure, you can zoom in. You can actually take a look at what the price is doing. So RSI, as of now, is trying to do a rounded bottom. It hasn't completed yet, for sure. There's a micro move. There's a micro pattern. If you actually zoom in a bit more to get a lot more noise in, we would actually say, okay, XRP is doing something similar to a pattern which we are all familiar with. Say this is 1, this is 2, and you're trying to go through this range. And I'm like, okay, that is good. If we can complete that structure, that is fine. Now, some people draw it like this, some people draw it like what I've done in the past. So all this actually takes you to one area where you're like, okay, there is a possible move to the upside coming in, where the RSI agrees with the price action. You're looking for all this, and you kind of get the understanding clear. Now, as you slowly zoom out, you also want to make sure the momentum is in your favor. How would you do that? Say, either you can use a Heikin-Ashi chart or a Ranko chart, depending upon, how you do trade. But say we go on a daily to look at this, and it kind of shows you this is the direction. This is where XRP is moving. So when it is red all the way. When it is green, it's green all the way. So you go back and understand when the trend line breaks. That's where you kind of get a big move to the upside. This was the trend line here. You broke that, you went up nuts, you corrected back down, and you bounced off. That is something we are observing here. Keep your eyes focused. You had this trend line, you broke that, you retested that, and you bounced off. That was a great rally. Now, again, you're here. You have a trend line, you broke that, you retested that, and you're bouncing off. So if history is something which we learn from, we are going to watch something similar or even bigger, because all these indicators kind of take you to the exact same direction. And that's where you should be like, okay, if the charts are suggesting you something, I shouldn't be going against it. Now, on a daily, this is what you're looking at. The momentum is still to the upside. We're still going to the upside. And on a weekly, this is what you're focusing on. Great. So by the daily close today, you want to see how the market reacts. Now, this is just Wednesday here. That means you still have the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the close in Sunday. 4 days to go for this week. There is enough time for this week to do the damage for the bears, to kick them out and prepare the market for the November month. So if the market can actually do really well in next couple of weeks, that means the end of November is going to look very different from where we are. The amount of FOMO which we will see in the market is going to go sky high. When, some of these assets pop 30-40% and then people start jumping in, they're kind of trying to catch on to that green candles. Instead of understanding, okay, we have this pattern, it may first come down, that's a great buying zone. A lot of people don't do that. When we reach the buying zone, I was saying this, it did correct lower. We waited earlier this month. Now it's in that range. It's the buy zone. Now you're watching that's popping. It's going through. So you need to understand the language of the market. And when the market says one language, and if you don't speak that, it is going to be difficult, in my opinion, to understand. Think about this. Someone is speaking Spanish, French, or German, which you really don't know, and how can you communicate? That is the problem which a lot of people have with technical analysis. They don't understand the language, and then they say it does not work. That is where the issue comes in. On a macro, if you are like, okay, I don't really care about a lot of short-term noise, this is what you're doing. I don't think there is a lot to learn here, but this is so easy to understand. The price action do all this movement and then break higher and retest and bounce. Remove that. How does that retest and bounce look like? That for me is a good one to look for. So the price action is doing this retest and bounce scenario just as we saw there. And how does this retest and bounce look like? That's where I'm like, there is a lot of different metric which you can really use, and all of them come to one conclusion here. We are going bullish. The market is absolutely bullish. So that's not a time where you go negative on the market, if you understand the market cycle, this is an area I would personally go aggressive in the market. Yes, there is a time where you go defensively aggressive, somewhat here. Yes, there is a time where you go completely defensive. When there is a huge divergence, you want to do that. Now, it's not just about one asset. It's about the entire market. So you should be looking at what Bitcoin is doing. You should be looking at which direction the money is moving. Either is it actually going to the Bitcoin or to the large cap coins or the medium cap coins or the meme coins. All of this gives you an advantage in the market. You kind of look at the volume, how much money is coming into one asset over the last 48 hours. That kind of shows you the trend, which direction it is actually going. So taking benefit of all of this gives you one thing, advantage over the majority. About 600 people is taking benefit of what I'm posting regularly on each and every single day for the SI family here. They are actually going through a lot. There's a lot of learning for sure. If you don't know TA, all these charts and targets would be hard for you to read through. But when you actually see this kind of thing, I think it's easy. There's an arrow showing, okay, you're going to come down and then you're going to pop. This is your measured move. Great. So as soon as this start to drop, you're like, oh, that's an opportunity. I should enter. This is the measured move. Now we are close to this. Now, most of us would be like, okay, I don't want the exact target. I'm fine with a little bit lower. That's exactly what you should do. And that is what the price action has been doing. Because the whales, the financial institutions, they want to manipulate you. So just when you are closing onto that target, they will reverse the price. You'll be stuck there. You don't want that. What you do want is to take profit just below that, saying bye to the whales and financial institutions to make sure you have seized your profits. So when Starjay popped, that's what we are watching. Some of them are taking profits, moving it up. They know the price is going to slow down. It's going to have the volatility. And if you're a long-term guy, you don't care about all this. You are looking for the long-term run. So that comes back to the Bitcoin side of things. If Bitcoin is still running up, which it is, that means you're going to see the market doing a lot more in terms of the bullish action. You can just plot this trend line and see, okay, this is something really interesting. If we do break this trend line to the upside, then goes nuts, meaning the momentum should increase significantly. I mean, the way I'm looking at this, I would actually put the argument like last time when we had something like this, we kind of, enjoyed the momentum here. And in between, we had the corona, that kind of a capitulation. But if you look at this, you actually see like the price consolidated there, it came into this price action. And then once it broke higher, the momentum increased substantially. So you are doing something similar here. If you do get a breakout here around 42 to 43K, that means you're going nuts. You may go up to 110, 120. I don't know where it's going to go. But you can actually see a pattern where the price action suggests like there is a long way to the upside. So on a short term, on a medium term, on a long term, whichever horizon you abide by, this is what the market is showing you. You buy at a support and sell at a resistance. Now you decide where we are. Are we close to a support or are we close to a resistance? You buy low, sell high. If you're a bull, that's how you make profit. So right now, it's the basic thing. Okay, RSI is good to go. MACD is super bullish. So all of them are showing you just one direction to the upside. Great. So entire market is now bullish. You want to make sure you seize this opportunity for next 6 months, next 9 months, next 3 months. there is going to be a blow off. You will see money moving in, moving out of different segment of the market. Let it be the meme coins, let it be the AI, let it be the payments. You will watch those. You will have to follow those to understand from where the money is moving and where these pops are coming in. When there is a macro pop, take your profits. If you go back, look at some of the assets which popped earlier this year, to learn what they did, how they did, you kind of get the ability to see this. Last time, we saw a rounded bottom and a breakout. The price went nuts. So this time, I told you guys, watch, this is going to be something similar. And we did do great. That was like a 10x move day. That was good. That was great. Now, what are you doing? The price is making a reversal signal, corrective pattern, which usually follows this in direction. So I'm like, okay, that's something interesting to watch. So when it actually does these 10x move, historically, take profits. If you are riding those angles and you are riding at 10x, if you don't take the profit, someone else will take the profit. So it is kind of clear here. If the market is doing something like this, next time it's going to do something better. And by the time it is reaching a bubble territory on a daily, that's what you should consider. On a daily, you will watch someone big taking profit. It gives you an indication of, okay guys, let's take profits. Big guys are moving out. How do you understand that? The price goes up at a time when the RSI goes down after a major rally. Now, there can be fake signals when you're starting out initial points if it's a daily, but not when you are on a weekly or a 3-day. So yes, they give you much more confidence about the market cycle itself, where you can watch them and say, okay, there's a long way to go. That was the first run up. Yes, the RSI collapsed, came back down, but was that the end? No. It came back to the trend line and it went back up. So you kind of know where the divergence comes in. The price goes up, RSI does not. So taking these simple steps, learning through them gives you the advantage. Now, if you need guidance on that, that's where the SI family stands out, trying to educate each and every one of you to make sure you take this opportunity, or else you learn this for next 2-3 years, and when the next market cycle comes in, you take benefit of that. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.